Thank you, Robin, because I always forget that. We can just kind of keep on with some stuff that isn't as important or doesn't require a vote. First thing being Family Science Night. Family Science Night is next Thursday, the 21st, the Thursday before spring break, which is not ideal. I guess it was a date given to us last year by the Science Center. They do still need about 8 volunteers. Ms. Twitchell has her daughter and a bunch of her friends coming. If you are able to volunteer, please do so. You can email her directly or email us and we can forward you on, but she needs help. I can't go, to be honest, but yeah, she needs some help to make it happen. I think one way or another it will happen. It's just, it would be better if they had some volunteers who unmuted. Oh, thanks, Scott. Did you already email her or can I add your name to her list? Okay. Easy update, Spiritware. We still don't have a check from them, but we are on a way better path. End of March, they should do a run. Apparently, they do it quarterly. So if you would like to get your orders in, do it now. And then we should get a check after March ends, after the quarterly payout. We are getting ready to add. Lori and I are going in tomorrow to meet with the 4th and 3rd grade students that won the t-shirt like the design competition. So going to help them digitalize their designs so we can get that uploaded to the Spiritware store and get those ready for sale. They are a little bit weirder to work with in terms of payouts, but their options are really great. So any feedback you guys have for the Spiritware store, just send it our way, to NSESPTA@gmail.com. Campus survival kits are another thing we normally do. We have them up and running for kindergarten. Kindergarten orientation is April 2nd, I believe, 1:30 to 2:30. So we do have the kindergarten supply list. That is live. We have reached out to all of the other teachers, all of the other team leads for the rest of the lists. We have 3rd and 4th grade, so we're just missing a few at this point, which is not a priority, and I get that, but that will all be live soon. Nominating committee. Actually, I'm going to go out of order here. Teacher grants. We have spring teacher grants open. They have been sent to the team leads. I asked Chad to send them out today from him personally because we've only had 2 respond. I think Scott jinxed us because he said at one point we never were able to fill it, whereas every year prior to this year, it was like we had to ask Chad to help us fill the numbers. And now we have 2 that total, I don't know, one was a $30 grant and one was something else. But if your kids' teachers ask about it, please encourage them to fill out the Google form, or send them to me and I will send them the Google form. Spring fair is going well. It's basically a well-oiled machine at this point, so there's not so much happening other than figuring out tickets, figuring out food trucks. If anyone has a recommendation for a food truck they would like, let me know. We wanted DC's Places, and I haven't even told the committee yet that they were booked. So we have that going on. The cookbook. For those of you that have been around for a while, the cookbook was going to be a larger fundraiser, not her largest, but we started advertising in probably October. I took the advertisement out the week of the newsletter, the week before bingo night. So recently, we got 24 recipes. So we don't have enough to do a book. Monetarily, we are fine. We ended up getting the grant, the $3,000 grant for the outside projects. I'm sad because I think it's like we have such a cool neighborhood and a cool school that has so many different things that I'm really bummed about it. But it doesn't really make sense to publish a book for 24 recipes. So I think unless someone has a really great idea to save it, I think we're going to forego that. And financially, we're fine. But I welcome recommendations or anything because I think we do have a diverse neighborhood where it's a cool thing to do. Or maybe it's something that after a couple more years of having Heritage Night back, maybe it becomes more popular then. I don't know.
When you guys do back to school in August, do you guys get a big pass through at your table?
Not huge. They come for the pizza. They maybe entertain us a little bit. It's not, even last year though, I don't think it was huge. We were like begging to give away pizza.
All right, I was wondering if maybe that would be a time to promote the idea of trying to get more, keep the ones you have, and try to promote more in the fall, and maybe you can build one next year.
Yeah, because we thought then the thought was, okay, we're having Heritage Night. We're gonna have these people bring food. We'll get the recipes, and that's January, so we'll have plenty of time. I got one recipe out of that night. So it I don't know. I don't know. I don't and the original Google form that we asked people to complete with recipes and then said, like, you can just email them. It was in English and Spanish. It was not in Vietnamese, I will say that. But we did have two languages and no one responded in Spanish. So I don't know. Our newsletter is also hard, right? Like they can't just give us the entire school's email addresses. So our newsletter goes to almost 770 people.
Okay.
Some of those are I don't know. They were manually inputted. Some I was able to delete from the old system to this system, like from people that I knew had graduated out and didn't want to be on our newsletter, but some I don't know who they are, to be honest. So that's kind of another thing. We do the best we can. I get why they can't share it, but it's still not great.
Okay.
So if anyone has ideas to save that for this year or future years, I'm not worried about the income for this year, but I just think it's a cool thing to showcase our neighborhood. Outside projects, I'm going to wait a little bit until hopefully Chad joins. Nominating committee is the next big thing. I am hoping at the next PTA meeting we can vote in our nominating committee. We need 2 more people. All the requirements is that you are a PTA member in good standing. We have 1 volunteer, which I love because it's like a totally new first grade first grade mom, and if you're on here, Paula, thank you. But it, it to put it out there, it's someone with like no background, no knowledge, and we'll get you there. Like we make it very easy. There is a form that potential officers have to fill out, and then as a committee, you guys look it over and come up with a slate of officers. So I am available, obviously, for any questions like as to procedures, and we'll get with anyone who wants to participate. But something, talk to people you know. Feel free to reach out to me if you want more information. The lift, in theory, is not very large because we don't have 50 people applying to be PTA officers. I think most of this board does want to stay in some capacity, and if they are willing to move around, they are, some of them, and I will be retiring, but it'll be good. So if you guys have questions, are thinking about volunteering, let me know. We will put out the call. I always love to have one teacher if we can, just because I think they know so many families well. So if you have a recommendation for that, let me know. And then I think Chrissy, okay, to segue to Chrissy, I will say you will see our bank account balance. It is very healthy. With that, we're going to get it. Well, see, Chad's not here yet. We are going to be using the $3,000 grant money to order benches. It's about $3,000. I'm just waiting to hear if I need to order 2 or 3, plus all the things that go with it. So that $3,000 will be spent. Last I talked to Chad, we had also budgeted $1,000 for the soccer pitch, and they have been ghosting him. So that's questionable. Chrissy will get into the numbers, but we have also more than doubled what we thought we would make for bingo. So we do have some money. So I would encourage everyone to think about things that maybe the school could use that we could spend the money on this year that's other than the shade project. I mean, in theory, we would love the soccer pitch to be complete, but if they're gonna ignore Chad, then we can't control that. So we have the money. We want to spend it. Think about options. And with that, I'll go to Christy.
Okay, thanks, Lauren. And I was having an issue doing my share screen, so I'll ask if you could help me there. Do you have it handy, Lauren? Okay. And sorry, I think you're on mute, but is it up? I don't even like for some reason I can't see things too.
I don't see it up yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Also, Scott had a question, Lauren. So when we start going through the budget, we can answer Scott's question.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Too many tabs. I can't actually see that while I'm sharing. So what's up?
Oh, his question was
about how much money for this, for how much money given to the teachers for spring grants?
Oh, how much do we
Spring
have?
grants, we have given none so far, but I want to say clubs are 500 and is
We have 2,000 budgeted for spring.
Yeah, 2,000.
Spring grants.
The number in my head, and right now, honestly, I asked Chad to send out today again to the teachers, so I'm hoping that gets us some more.
Over the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a number of new teachers begin and probably don't know this process. So it might, maybe in some degree, maybe need to reach out directly to them to let know how this works.
Yeah, and so we have had, and I personally reached out to team leads and asked them to share with the new teachers. And so like Ms. Chung has won this year, this whatever go around, which is $30, which is nothing. Like she had one in the beginning of last year when she was new, and Chad funded that one because we had so many. And I don't, I can't quite figure it out. It's like kindergarten knows to do it as a team. Like a lot of them come in as team requests, and that's just not happening right now. And I don't know if it's like a post-COVID thing or
I'm picturing someone like Miss Twitchell, who's her first year at being STEM. There's got to be something she'd want.
one would think, yeah.
I mean, I messaged her actually, Scott. I emailed her asking if she'd like an Amazon wish list or anything, and she never got back to me. So I don't know.
Okay.
She did
But yeah, I
have
mean, I agree with you. You think
going into the year. I do know that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry, and I still couldn't share it. Are you good, Lauren?
Can you see my screen?
I see a beaver.
Oh,
Maybe it's just a thing with Zoom. If not, I can walk you all through it. I can talk through it.
I
oh.
see it over here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I see
I
it.
see somebody.
Okay. It's just me then. All right. No worries then, Lauren. So maybe just follow along with me. It's my Zoom. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'll start under membership. And nothing new there. We're still at $1,000.66. So then I'll move into income. And the first one we have is flocking, which is slightly higher than we had from last month. So it's at $555. Original works is also slightly higher. That's at $703.94. I think we made $21 over the past month. As Lauren mentioned, for the recipe books, we had 1,700 allocated. We have not spent that. We will not spend that. So we'll keep that there. For restaurant nights, we're also higher by $57.68. So we're at $563.14. So for fundraising totals, if you take the income and the expenses, subtract out the expenses, we're at $1,790.29. So that's all for fundraising. So moving into others, for donations, we did really well here. We're up $355.65 for a total of $932.01. I'll say a lot of that was when we were soliciting bingo support. Andrew Gauss wasn't able to help us, but he donated $300. So that accounts for a lot of that bump over this past month. I don't think we have anything new. So in terms of income and fundraising totals, we're at $2,700.40. $2,740.16. Looking at enrichment, we did have the spelling bee and we incurred some expenses. So we spent $262.16. And that's the total we have for enrichment. And then I'll move to fun events. Let's move to fifth grade concessions, and bear with me. If you were listening to the meeting last month, I had a weird thing, and I think I kind of mentioned this to you, Scott, with the fifth grade concessions and the fifth grade payout. Like the fifth grade payout had money against it, which should not have happened. So I was able to work through that with a former treasurer. So everything is back in the fifth grade concession line. So they're doing really well. They made $1,185.17 from the last meeting. So they right now have a total of $1,485.87. And they made about $300 at bingo night. So kudos to them. And then moving down to the big money maker, which was bingo, we made $5,495.97. So well done to the team for that. So our fun event total is year to date $6,495.84. And I'll just pause there. Are there any questions on that page?
Just randomly, what was the bingo night expense? What was the $50 expense?
Oh, that was the decorations. And to be honest, yeah, and like helium. Obviously, helium's costs a lot. So the balloons and the helium, yeah.
The markers versus using the tape last year.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, I haven't submitted my expense report for bingo, but
okay.
Excuse me, it was the markers and then a couple of prizes to go on the bingo prize table, and I think that was it. I think it was just the markers on like the 3 prizes. So it's not, I have it downstairs. I haven't submitted it yet, but it wasn't a large amount of money. So.
Yeah, I like the big pack of dry erase markers was good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like the big pack of dry erase markers.
Yeah, that was definitely a better idea. That was Christy Balbuena, to give credit where credit's due.
Way better than trying to rip off tape while trying to sell tickets.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It was awful.
Okay, are there any other questions? Oh, go ahead, Lauren.
No, sorry. Carry on.
Okay, so I can't tell if you go to the next page, we're under events and services. We had under art framing, we made $30, so the total there is 178. I think everything else here is the same. Again, lots of money for the teacher grants in the spring. Shade coverage is accounted for 3,000, and we look forward to spending that. So the year-to-date net is $1,449.92. Moving down, the summer events and activities is the same. Right now, teacher appreciation is also the same. So the events and services went up to $6,447.80. And then I think the only thing under the admin expenses that went up, we went up by $11 in the other category. I have to double check what that is, to be honest. But so that changed slightly. So that's $1,264.44. So I think, Lauren, you might have to go to the next page for this. But we have a very, very healthy balance of $20,857.55.
Yeah. So guys, when I say like we plan to spend $3,000, the $3,000 grant money, I'm just waiting to hear how many benches we need to order from Chad. If it's, well, we can easily order 3 benches and then order all of like the materials to chain them to the ground. That was from Transurban. We didn't expect to get that grant, which was a lot more money than even we were expecting to make from cookbooks. We doubled bingo, which is great. But then also the $1,000 we plan to spend on soccer pitch is gone. So if anyone has any ideas, even if it's like a full school assembly or something that can benefit the school, please reach out. I would say please reach out before next meeting or the meeting after, like whenever you think about it, so we can make sure we present it at a meeting. We have money to spend and we want to spend it on the school and on our kids. It's just, I don't want it to just be the 6 of us trying to figure out how to spend money, because we've been around the block and I know there are so many new ideas and things out there. So we have money, we want to spend it. Tell all your friends if they're PTA members, and if not, throw them the link to join. We could, Scott, buy some bulk spiritware. That's actually a really good idea and one I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea especially for kindergarten. Like we wouldn't have it done probably for orientation, but for Beaver Blast Off, having some smaller sizes would be a really great idea.
So when we first switched over from having all stock on hand to doing more of these computer orders,
yeah,
while it simplifies things and it cuts down on costs, some of what we were finding is people would show up and say, "Do you have a shirt I could buy?" So, you need to order it, and they just kind of walk off. If you have something right there, you might get some sales that you wouldn't get otherwise. So if you've got extra money to sell, maybe you grab some this way.
That's a really great idea, actually. And I think from movie night last year, we sold all like really, really old stuff for dirt cheap, and people were really excited to have something to buy. So that's
even if you just hold it for this fall, just you have it for back to school night. You have a couple racks out there, you might get more people walking your way.
absolutely.
That'd be a bunch. Just pick some sizes that might be appropriate for the younger crowd. Particularly maybe the younger crowds, kindergarten, first grade, second grade.
Yeah, ignore teachers, adults,
but
yeah.
No,
I like that. I would, hey, Robin, can you make a note to just maybe we figure out like a budget amount that we are willing to spend to vote on next general meeting, only because it's not a line item now. And I think we have to do that. So, but I think that really does, you're right, Scott, that sets us up for something. And it's so hard because you don't want to spend the money on junk, right? Like, even I started looking at Gaga fall pits, and then I'm like, well, who's liable for it? And who's going to do the upkeep and who's going to do all that stuff? And it's like, ew. Um, yeah. Shoot. But, okay, apparently I stopped sharing my screen somehow. Chrissy, are you done?
Sorry, I was about to say I'm done anyway, unless anyone has any questions. That was all that I had.
I'm good.
Thanks, Scott.
I can yell at Alex to come in here so we can have a quorum to vote on meeting minutes.
I can also grab Joe if you want.
Where is Joe in comparison to you?
Joe, can you come here for a minute?
Perfect. Shall I quickly do this then before everybody leaves the room?
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. Let's see. So we have two to vote on. Let me see
Wait,
if
he's
I-
not here. I think
Oh,
he's.
All right. Well, let me just get up then and
You get
otherwise this is
me one.
this. So this is the wrong. All right. Let me know when he's there, and we'll go through February 1st. So that's the first one I clicked.
Three.
Okay, Joe's here.
Hello.
Okay, perfect. Well, now Lauren's gone though. Oh, there she is. All right, we're good.
Oh, you found Joe.
Yes, I found him. He's here.
Oh, we're gonna be great because we have Alex too.
Wonderful. All right, so we have February minutes. So first one over membership, which everything is doing well. We were over what they budgeted, which is fabulous. Heritage Night was a great success. Everyone had a great time. Next time we're going to work on more food donations. With the cookbook, we had, well, we already were talking about the cookbook, but we had about 25, 30 recipes, which was not enough. So we're thinking of different options at that time. We're starting this food drive. And for the spelling bee, it went well. We didn't have a ton of kids. Next time, we're going to try to maybe open it up or find different ways to get more children to participate. For the spirit wear, we are going to be getting a check every quarter. So that's exciting. Spring fair, so you need to figure out what to add for that. The dunk tank, and we'll price things out. Let me see. For outside, we have money for the benches with a $3,000 grant. We're still pricing out the 3 benches. And trying to figure out the soccer pitch. Teacher grants are opening soon. Hopefully we'll get more than we have been. Speed stacking was about to happen, which is exciting. Chad was talking about kindness week, what happened, and also the rock project. And then we did the treasury report, and with the bingo, everything was going great. And restaurant night, we had a couple of things coming up. Does anybody have any questions on the February minutes? Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Or do I have a motion to approve them?
Motion.
Wonderful. And we have a second.
I'll second.
All right, thank you very much. And let me try to get the next one up. So that was February. So let me see if I can find January. Is this the same one? Oh, that's the same one. Hold on. I think I had the February ones up twice. So let me get the other one. Okay. All right, here's the January ones. All right. So for January, Lauren did the welcome. We're talking about how we might not have a December meeting going forward because there's such low attendance. We went over the membership. We had 95 members. The last year I've added a couple more, which is great. Heritage Night, it was a week from Thursday in the cafe for the food people. Jim for the different continents. And we had a sign up genius going around for everybody to sign up. For Lauren, we had the grant for the outside project and marketing for the February donation drive. For the treasury report, sorry, went too fast. We had a bunch of income for membership, which is great. Also, fundraising went really well. So we're doing really well with treasury. I did the minutes. Katie and Lauren both approved them. And then, oh, we had to do 2 that month as well because we didn't have quorum beforehand either. So Katie and Karen approved the December ones as well. For enrichment, we were talking about different classes for the spring. For the fundraising, the spelling bee was coming up. We had a bunch of restaurant nights and flocking, which has been very successful. We're thinking about having a small fundraiser with nothing but cakes and bingo night. And then Chad was talking about the iReady testing that was coming up. And we were having funding for a full-time tutor to help out school, which was great. The book fair, they were still getting book volunteers as well as the parent coffee. And they were going to try to do math enrichment for next year if possible. They're also talking, so that the teachers don't have to split their time. They're trying to think about staffing changes so people don't have to split their time between AAP and STEAM. And then there were questions on the 6th graders, if they were going to stay in elementary school or go up to middle school. And Tad was going to look into that. So that's all I have for those minutes. Does anybody have any questions on January's? Nope. All right. Do we have approval, a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And who is that? I'm sorry.
Oh, it was Chrissy.
Oh, Chrissy. Okay, thank you. I didn't recognize your voice. All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. I finally remembered the one thing I meant to ask. So I'm gonna go out of order, and I'm sorry, Karen and Lori and Kristen. Next month we are, oh, Alex, you're dismissed from voting things. But next month we are slated to have the Holmes principal come to our meeting. So tell your friends who have older kids, or I guess I have a rising 4th grader, any questions, any topics we want the Holmes principal to address. She's happy to address. She will be here. She would love some talking points before. Let me know. And with that, I think Kristen, you're up.
Great. Nothing super new on membership end. We had one more person join, so we have 96 now instead of 95. I think we will be doing some sort of spring membership push to get some more members towards the end of the year, something fun. Honestly, the most successful thing we did was the class competition. So I think it's maybe worth doing another one, maybe leading up to movie night, or maybe for the end of the year, offering another kind of celebration to the class or the grade that gets the most members, or may just save it for the fall. But tell all your friends if they don't belong to the PTA to join. There's no volunteer commitment, and we would love to have them. It's not too late.
Thank you. Karen and Lori, you can fight over who wants. I have Lori back, but you can fight over it. Karen, you're like half dead, so if you want to go.
I'll go real quick. So we had bingo night. Sorry, I'm not going to put my screen on because I'm not looking so hot. But we had bingo night. I think that was a big success. Hopefully others agree. If you have any feedback, please feel free to shoot me a text or a message or send an email to the PTA mailbox. We'd love to get any feedback. But I think it was successful. We also exceeded our goal to raise. My personal goal was 5,000. I think the budget goal was 2,000. So either way, we succeeded that. Upcoming fundraiser, that's kind of the big one for the year. I do want to look into, we currently are running a small native plants seedling sale. So we'll start to push that out a little bit more now that we're through bingo. I'm also looking at, at doing a small, or not necessarily a small, but a nothing but cakes fundraiser. So we'll see how that goes. We're also exploring ideas for the fall. So if anybody has any ideas for anything different or new or what have you for fundraising, we'd love to hear it. We did have Five Guys last week, restaurant night. We have one more, that's Hangry Burger. And I'm sorry, I do not remember the date for that, but it will be in the newsletter. That's it for me. Any questions about that? I'm sorry.
Any idea what the turnout for Five Guys was?
I think it was pretty low. The guy kind of like, the manager kind of like disappeared at the last minute. It was really weird. Tommy Zeinhardt is in charge of restaurant nights, and he couldn't get the guy to respond to him. I called the guy, got his email address, sent him the information asking for a flyer, never heard back. So I assume it was low level, but we'll have to reach out to confirm what they got.
Okay.
Any other questions for fundraising? Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Lori. Thank you all.
Hello. First of all, I want to say, Karen, you knocked it out of the park with bingo. So congrats to you. It seriously
thank you.
everything ran awesome. And you did a really good job.
Well, thank you. I will say it takes a village, and I think everybody on this call pitched in, so I appreciate it.
Yes. Well, on my end, we have 2 classes coming up for the end of the year for enrichment. We're going to do eye coding again on Tuesdays, and the Thursday hip hop did so good that we're going to do glow dance on Thursdays. And I asked the parents that had done the class before, and everybody voted for that one, to try that one. So those are the 2 classes we're going to do. We had seen a flyer for a cooking class, so we're going to look into that for maybe next year in the fall. So if anybody thinks that that's a good idea, let me know, because that sounded different and fun.
Hey,
teacher
Lori,
yeah,
are those 2 like locked in? Like, can we
yes.
start advertising them?
Well, confirmed with them, they have to confirm with the school, or they have to do their part now. But I confirmed with them, yes, we want those 2 classes and on those 2 days of the week, and to start after spring break.
All right. How many of us are on here? I'm gonna go a little rogue. Once you're done, that is. But iCode is going well. And iCode, the partnership between us and iCode has been really great. I won't lie. We have this class now. They are going to come to our spring fair and do like a free setup, essentially another free activity for the kids. They're thinking robots, but aren't sure yet. They donated to bingo. They're like, the person who is not the owner but like runs it is a PTA president, and I forget which school in Northern Virginia, but she gets it and has been impressed by, I think she has another small school. So it's been a good partnership, and I think if it does, for those that have kids in iCode this session, next session it would be graphic design specific, so it would be very different. New kids could come, old kids could come. It would not, they could all coexist happily. You don't need prior knowledge. So just a heads up. And then I see Chad joined us. So before
Yes, I am finally here. Sorry.
Before I totally go rogue, Chad, did you have baseball? Did baseball season start?
No, I actually had a separate meeting tonight that ran over, of course. So I just walked in the door and logged on.
Well, we're at the end, so it's not so exciting. I guess things for you. The outside projects, did you meet with the,
Tomorrow, I'm meeting with them tomorrow at like 9, I think, or 9:30.
let me know and I'll order the benches and whatever. Are the soccer pitch people we assumed were still,
Well, the right people there will be another person at this meeting that I can jumpstart that connection. I'm actually okay if they wait to towards the summers, because now that it's getting nice out, the soccer pitch is just full ramped up.
I know the only problem for us is we want to write the check.
All right, well, I can see if we can, all
So if you can make that happen, that'd be great.
right, I'll see what I can do.
And then just let me know. I know we talked about 2 versus 3 benches and we'll get them ordered and
Yeah,
all of
no,
that.
um,
But we were also talking about, we did earn a lot of money this year and we earned more than we thought. So Scott had a really great idea and that's involving ordering spiritware for the younger ages to have a little bit on hand. We can go rogue and I can call for like a amendment to the budget and ask for $1,000, say, for $750 now to order for it. Or if you guys feel more comfortable, we can do that in April. I'm just thinking if we do it now, we do have kindergarten orientation coming up.
that's April 2nd.
So totally up to the group. That's something we can sit on and think on, and you guys would have it for Beaver Blast Off. So that's also great.
Yeah, we're projected to have about 75 incoming freshmen.
That's awesome.
We should probably,
Did I say freshmen? Oh my, I
Well,
meant kindergarten.
Laura, maybe we should vote on it now, just because Scott says we tend to lose people later on in the year. So while we have a quorum.
I kind of, it's like everyone needs to overanalyze everything, but I think Scott's got something up here. Like, it's a really great idea, and maybe he's regretting his choice right now. I don't know. He's on mute, I think. But
You got money, let's spend it.
we have money, let's spend it. Thank you, Scott. That is my mantra. So all those who will vote to amend the budget to spend $1,000 for bulk spiritware, primarily focused on the younger ages, please say yes.
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 Amen.
Yes.
Yes, Joe!
What's that, Joe?
I'm yelling for Joe to come say yes.
I'm sorry, he went back to go put Quinn to bed, but he would
Do I
vote
need
for
to
it.
yell at Alex to come say yes? Because I can say yes for him. Because I'll just do what I say. Do we have enough? Who was counting? Me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just need 10 and my mouse won't work. Yeah, I think we got 10.
Nice.
So
I joined just in time.
1,000 to be spent in spiritware. I love this idea.
I did meet too with the 5th grade team this morning about their the 5th grade trip.
Was that before or after I emailed Miss Thibodeau their balance?
Before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we were estimating, including like the bags from last year and shirts, that it was going to be somewhere between $5,200 and $5,500 for the buses, the full day field trip, the bags, the shirts, so she seemed to think, what was the balance for?
It was 2,400 and change, and she said that was the highest.
So
I asked her for an
yeah,
average.
that's amazing. So 2,400, and they already had 800, I believe. Or does that include that?
No, that includes that.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay,
This was all inclusive. I'll send you the email we
okay.
sent her.
No, that's fine.
But
So,
she, I asked her for the like average, but I just did that tonight just because I'm curious as
Mhm.
to what the goal is.
Well, so we were, this is even how, and I guess this is great history too for everyone here. One of the things we tried doing, especially at the beginning, even going back prior to the pandemic, it was getting super expensive to go to Baltimore and put this trip together. We were starting to ask parents for, upwards of $60, $70 to cover everything. And, and that was right as things were going into that, money, it's getting harder and harder to pay for things. So we, that was really what the conscious decision to kind of rethink about how and where we were going and really what was the purpose we wanted our kids to get out of it. And that's how we shifted kind of this whole leadership teamwork approach and doing the ropes course and some of these, spending the day in the woods working together on different tasks and projects. That, and it was much cheaper. We still get the, the big bus for them and everything. But we were talking today and, I said, think about whatever we want. I said, I don't want parents paying more than $40 at all. And I think we were going to try to keep it at 30. They were going to we didn't have the final figures. So whatever it comes, and I said, whatever you decide on, whether it's $30, 35, whatever, I said, whatever the difference is, I will cover from my admin account. And if there's any kids that can't pay, I will cover that from my admin account. Because I'm just really conscious of how much we ask parents, to pay for. It's also, I'm not sure if anybody's noticed, just because we haven't done a ton of where field trips have happened, but we haven't asked parents, and I'm very kind of proud of this, that we haven't asked parents since we came back from the pandemic to pay for any field trips or any of that stuff. We've been able to cover that using our admin account and because it isn't always easy to have an extra $20 or $50 a month or whatever it may be when you're thinking about lunches and the whole 9 yards. So I've been very conscientious of telling teachers, listen, how much does it cost? Okay, I got it. Do not ask your parents, for money. And so that was a big part of our conversation this morning, in that I still would love to not have this be super expensive, for an entire day field trip. And so they were going to get back with some final numbers and costs. We did come up with a couple dates. It was, I put it on my calendar. Hang on. I want to say, it was, the second choice was May 20th, and the first choice was June 3rd. So those were the two dates that they're going to ask for, June 3rd being the first choice and June 20th being a second choice. They were both open last time they talked to the staff over at Camp High Road, and so they were going to lock that in.
The 20th is after school ends, though.
Don't say that again.
The 20th is after school ends.
No,
June.
20th of May.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's the Monday prior to Memorial Day, I believe. Yes. And we will be, any SOLs at that point will be makeups and that kind of thing, if we're not totally done. So we just need to be as a school conscious of that and scheduling those things out. So hopefully that'll come together and still be really cost effective for all the parents. And like I said, that included a shirt and a bag also that got good reviews from the kids last year. Are we still planning on doing the 4th and 5th grade dance too? And that was, what was,
I think they had a meeting, I missed it, but I think that they had a meeting on it on Sunday.
and are we still thinking, I got that date on my calendar too, that was April.
Should know this.
Maybe. Maybe not. Nope. I thought I had this on my calendar. It was a Friday, I know that. April 5th.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound right?
Let me double check. April 5th. Yes, April 5th.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
All right. And if we, well, we got a couple weeks that we can get prepared and get tables and whatever else.
They were supposed to meet last Sunday. Christy Balbuena is the 5th grade parent this year, so she's kind of spearheading it.
Okay.
They met last Sunday. I did not hear anything bad or good about it.
Yeah, they actually met. I don't know why I have my calendar March 10th. So I think they met on Sunday at 7:30. I can text her. I'm not sure what came out of it. I missed it. But
Well,
I
I just want to make sure like that we were still thinking that way, so I just.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
line item on the budget for it. It's not, we don't pay for it. We just kind of help with the fund transfer.
Yeah,
type
no,
of
and
situation.
I don't
But I
think,
know they had a great time last year.
yeah, no, the last couple have been really, really good, so. The other, there was one other question I just thought of. Shoot. The dance and, I should have wrote it down while I was thinking about it.
Did you figure out, is there going to be a retirement ceremony like last year?
Oh,
Not ceremony, but
Actually, yeah, Jackie and I we're tentatively are meeting on that next week.
all right. So I'll email the lady in charge, which is Jackie. Let's be real. She's in charge, not you.
No, you're right.
Except she's retiring. So now what?
Well, she's gonna stay on till December.
Really?
Yes. I told her she couldn't leave me at the beginning of the year.
How
Is she training your replacement?
That's the goal.
did you, I was going to say, how'd you do that?
So, but, that's what we're hoping to have some overlap, just that, because the money piece of that is so important.
Well, and you guys have had so much front office staff turnover that and you've had, I mean, Miss Cruzy, Miss Geist, Miss Dallas, those
Miss
are like
Dallas,
a
yeah.
well-baked, I don't know.
Oh, it was a well-oiled machine for a long
It
time.
was
so.
like a lockbox of information, like not in the sense that I couldn't get it, but
Yeah.
they knew how to do it. So
Hey, we'll keep on going with it. We'll be all right. We do have, I mean, there are actually, I have my staffing meeting next week too, so actually what day are we meeting? We have a meeting on the calendar.
we have a meeting on the 19th, Tuesday.
So I believe let's see if I can remember here. So I will have my staffing meetings. I have them that morning. So by the afternoon too, I can start to give you guys start to create, there's a few other changes that are coming, but I need to just verify some things and
Is stuff coming this year or for next year?
all for next year. Year. Yes. Now this time of year I start to make the shift to
I figured, but I don't know.
so we do have, but there's our preschool program is expanding. We're already the largest in the county, and now we will be the largest by about 60 kids. So if our preschool program is full, we'll be about 140 to 150 kids in preschool next year.
That's huge. How many kids are you this year?
about 90, 95. That preschool is the one that kind of comes and goes because we do have kids move because all the kids in preschool aren't all North Springfield kids. We are a feeder for 7 different schools. So we do have some turnover in preschool throughout the year as people move in and out of the area, but
How did your school make it out of all the schools in the county? Because of the remodel they did a few years ago?
well, actually before the renovation, we were the largest. So I'm not exact. That's a great question, Scott. Because I'm not sure how we got that big.
We're a
but
we're a neighborhood elementary school. How did yours, the entire this size of a county, random
know.
random school in the county in this little area here?
Yeah, and we
Very
have,
strange.
yeah,
You're right. I feel like it's like a third of the school, which
if with all these changes, we
with
will
this
be
one,
pretty
yeah.
close to that, yeah. And I do have them coming out tomorrow also from facilities and planning. I have all the boxes checked. I believe I'm asking them to take one of those classes off the list. So only making us have 3 additional programs versus 4 classes, 3 programs. So I'm asking them. I got all the directors of the different places on board, including our new region superintendent, and so I feel confident that we'll be able to send one of those classes to another school, but we will still be growing for sure.
That's awesome.
And like transportation called me today. You'll all get a kick on this because everybody loves dismissal and arrival time at North Springfield. It is the most favorite part of everybody's day.
As long as they didn't mention me by name in my complaints.
No, they called and said, hey, would it be possible to do the start time for preschool and school age at the same time? And I swear I laughed. I laughed out loud at that question. And I was like, then I legitimately asked, are you insane? I said, do you understand the amount of complaints and the potential for just people to get seriously injured if you add to an already difficult entry into the building, and you're going to bring in, and so you're going to bring in 12 buses to combine with Kiss and Ride? I go, that would be the worst decision you've made. So I think I got them to understand that. So I think we're good, but I'm going to call them back in the morning. I've already sent myself an email to remind, just to ensure that they understood clearly that I was opposed to that decision. But I couldn't believe when they asked me that this morning. I was like, who is thinking this stuff up? Whoever it is has not been to North Springfield in the morning or at the afternoon. But
is there going to be any possible way to get another crossing guard?
Actually, Miss Pritt and I have we're on the hook. She has applied for the position, and I will give her the flexibility in her job to be the permanent crossing guard for North Springfield. She has applied and she's waiting to hear back from the precinct as we speak.
I love so much about that.
So we are hoping to take control of that ourselves once and for all.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, no, she actually approached me, and I quickly made a few phone calls and talked to the whoever the guy, I can't remember his name, the officer in charge of over at the precinct of that. And I talked to FCPS Safety and Security, and I said, I will arrange her contract around this time. You know, if she can do it every day, I want her to be fully trained, and I want her to be insured with the police department while she's doing that job. So we're kind of waiting to hear from them, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
All right.
There's no better person to understand that crossing than a teacher.
No, yeah, and she has
She
experience.
is no nonsense. She will handle that.
The key is directing traffic. The police officers don't like to direct traffic, and that's really the key to making it work.
That's what I was
safely.
just about to say. They do a good job letting people cross. They don't, they just hands off on traffic.
Yep, and you'll get some of the guys that'll do it because they understand the crossing, but if they're new or, you know, a lot of them just won't, and it's frustrating. But, so that, Scott, to answer your question, hopefully, fingers crossed that comes through.
That's awesome.
Trying to think, I know Miss Metz is doing, she did a new week for Bring Your Parent to PE Week. She rescheduled that.
It's
Yeah.
in April. It's in our newsletter. I don't remember the dates off the top of my
It
head,
is,
but it's in our
April,
newsletter.
it's the week of the 8th. There's a holiday on Wednesday, a student holiday, a religious holiday on Wednesday the 10th. It's Eid al-Fitr. So it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday of that week. So
I've seen a Ramadan.
actually last day of Ramadan's a little later. It's, I think, well, I could be wrong. I thought it was a little bit later in the month though. I just put something out in an email to the staff, a reminder, and
Yeah, just started over. We started this past weekend.
yeah, but I think it goes for a week. It might be the 22nd.
Okay.
What's this? No, that's wow, Good Friday is late.
Yeah.
I'm going through all my holidays in my calendar. I really,
Oh, it's not late. It's
well, Orthodox, it came up as Orthodox, Good Friday, May 3rd. I was like, whoa, caught me off guard there. But I digress. Let's see. Outside of
anything
that,
else from like your standpoint, Chad, we need to know before we give people their nights back? Like, we're not in it's March, so we're not really in a staffing crisis. I know we have a lot of retirements, and I know we may have a certain first grade teacher moving down to kindergarten by choice. Then I know.
well, I've actually, I've already hired a couple people for next year. I have one preschool, or one of the new programs in preschool. I have one of that filled, and I have, well, everything's in the process. I don't know if they've actually got their final contracts yet. And I've hired a person I'm going to probably end up putting in 4th grade. Some changes. So, another male. That's good.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah. And we're interviewing next week for art. So hopefully I'd like to go into spring break kind of having made an offer for art, and that way Terrell can kind of start connecting with whoever's, coming in for her. And
Or we can just tell her not to leave. But that's a personal.
I tried that already.
opinion.
I even, like, as people, like, I even told Kathy Neal, I was like, come on, you want to come back hourly, what, 5 hours a week? What do you need? I told her I told her I'd give her the highest pay I was allowed to, which was like $56 an hour or something. She's like, no way.
So we've got Pomeroy, Nealon, Kingsbury.
Yep. Mr. Kingsbury will be retiring in
But
May.
Nick,
And
you-
Mr. Cho just turned his paperwork in. He's
no,
actually
he did not.
he's
can't book-
retiring April 30th.
Oh, okay.
But we can get him to come back to something too.
You're like, we got him. So,
But
so
those are,
Kingsbury, Pomeroy, Nealon,
and Mr. Cho.
and Mr. Cho. Those are the 4 you think for this year? I thought there was someone else. Can't.
No, I think that's it for the, well, Jackie's December,
Jackie, yeah.
but we got time. We can do something special for her later.
Yeah.
And depending on what the budget is, I'm planning on staying another little longer. So I've pretty much decided that I'm not
We got you at least
retiring.
next
Not
year,
retiring
next
next
academic year, right?
Not next year, no.
No,
What?
2024, 2025. We've got you that year.
I have 30 years in this July, but I will probably stay till 2026.
Yeah, okay.
So it's I don't know. I every time I really think about it, I'm not ready to leave our kids yet.
Mhm.
I don't know what I do. Though it's it doesn't matter how bad the day is. Take a walk down the halls and the day gets better. So it's all good. Can't leave it yet. Sorry if any of you were hoping I was going to leave and just
I
finally
was
somebody knew what they were
banking on it.
doing.
I was going to become the elementary school principal for my current day job, which has nothing to do with that. But
But
no,
it's-
the kids would be disappointed
so,
for real.
no, but so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So, let's see. But I think that's it. The 4 this year, and then Jackie in December.
Okay,
So I think we'll
thank
be.
you. That helped us plan because we do have a little bit of a budget to be
Now we
able to
do have we have some folks, and I actually maybe by next our meeting on Tuesday that I may be able to. I'll double check with folks to see if their information is public knowledge, if they've started telling anybody yet. I don't want to share news that's not
Yeah.
mine to share, but I'll confirm with a few people. But we have some people, some getting promoted, a couple leaving out of like relocating. So
Bummer.
get that. I'll get those names to you
Thank you.
as soon as they're ready to spill the beans on themselves.
We
It's
can't
tough.
have any more people having babies or leaving.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Chico had her baby.
Oh, she did.
She did, little girl, and Miss Cruzy looks like she's gonna
Any day.
have hers any second.
I talked to her today because that's
So
my kid.
it's
I just hope that child comes out soon.
but she had that, how there's the waddle right before there's really a waddle in how you walk. She had that today. Everything was a little slower coming down the hall. I was like, oh, she's getting close. So
All right. Who else has something, anything else? I'm so sorry. It took more than an hour of your night, and that's usually my goal is an hour, but
part of that's my fault. I'll take the heat for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll
Scott.
forgive you this time, Jeff. We're all good. But does anyone else have anything else before I give you your night's bath? Going once, going twice as I see the participants going down.
There you go.
All right, Robin, you can hit